In this video, we're going to take a look at a black ink by Platinum. They're black. Now, as always, there's timestamps down below so you can skip around, but if you've got the time, I'd appreciate you checking out the entire video. Also down in the description is a link to the black ink playlist, so if you wanted to see more, you could find that there. I'm an ink guy, and let's get into the first writing sample done on 90 GSM Clairfontaine. No bleeding, no ghosting. We get no feather, no spread, no halo, no sheen, no shade. Nice. The extra fine took 12 seconds to dry and the medium took 17. Our tones are the same. It's just thinner lines. The scrubby for both give us no color variation. We're not getting it in the writing. And the smear test, you stand a chance of recovering if you smear while you're writing. To have a range of experience with this ink, all of the writing samples are done with a Jinhao 159 with a 1.1 stub, a Jinhao X450 with a medium, and a Jinhao X750 with an extra fine. Then a Waterman graduate with a fine nib was inked up, used for a day, and used to take the notes for this video. The next writing sample is done on 52 GSM Tomoe River. We have no bleeding, minor ghosting. It's black ink on a very thin paper. We have no feather, no spread, no halo, no sheen, no shade, but the extra fine is a little lighter than the stub and the medium. The medium's the same tone as the stub. The extra fine took 15 seconds to dry and the medium took 23. Scrubby for both give us no color variation. We're not getting it in the writing. And the smear test, you stand a chance of recovering that if you smear while you're writing. I agree with Vita. There's a lot to learn by doing multiple chromatography. The one on the left is done the way it's supposed to be done. A line of ink is put down and then it's put into water for 10 to 15 seconds. And you do see the beginnings of a line forming at the bottom where it's bonding very quickly. The rest is pushing very evenly up, meaning it's bonding as it's going, and it's really dark at the top. Now the one on the right is let dry for 10 minutes before it's dunked in the water, and in only 10 minutes it's bonded very well with the paper. What is moving at a fairly uniform tone, so it's bonding as it goes, but there's still a lot that's actually at the top, which was surprising to me. But I do expect this to be a very resistant ink. The next writing sample is done on 80 GSM Rhodia dot pad. No bleeding, no ghosting. We get no feather, no spread, no halo, no sheen, no shade. The extra fine is just a tad bit lighter than the stub or medium. The extra fine also took 11 seconds to dry while the medium took 18. Our scrubbies give us no color variation. We're not getting it in the writing, and the smear test, you could recover if you smeared while you were writing. Resistance tests are done to see how this ink can be expected to perform on a page, and more importantly, how hard it may be to clean from your pen. The smear is allowed to dry for 3 days before testing it. Looking at the highlighter, I'm shocked by how much actually moved. I would not use it in a note-taking situation based on that result. That I'm gonna caveat with, I definitely use this ink a lot for watercolor, and it doesn't tend to have a problem. So I don't know what happened there, what kind of freak show this one was. Water had no effect on this ink, didn't move it, neither did pen flush, and the 1/3 bleach solution only started to break it down and was really turning yellow. It only took water to get this out of my pen, and I am very bothered by how much of it moved under the highlighter. What the hell happened there? The next writing sample is done on white lines paper. Not a fountain pen friendly paper, but doing very well here with no bleeding and no ghosting. We get no feather, spread, halo sheen, no shade, the same tone for all three. The extra fine took 4 seconds to dry and the medium took 6. Scrubby for both give no color variation, and there is none, and the smear test, you could definitely recover if you smeared while you were writing. For the inks tested, the average viscosity is 2.5, and the realm of normal is 2.1 to 2.9. Platinum Black has a viscosity of 1.38, so this is a wet ink. If you're interested in how the viscosity tests and all of that stuff's done, and there's a link to that video down in the description. The next writing sample is done on Strathmore writing paper. No bleeding, no ghosting. We get no feather, spread, halo sheen, no shade. The extra fine is a little bit lighter than the medium and stub. The extra fine took 6 seconds to dry, the medium took 9. Scrubby gives us no color variation and we get none, and the smear test you could recover if you smeared while you were writing. For the inks tested, the average dry time is 17 seconds, and the realm of normal is 13 to 21 seconds. Platinum Black has an average dry time of 17 seconds, so pretty normal. The last writing sample is done on P. Berger paper. Now we have a few spots that it came deeper, but not through, not touching the back of the page. This is a very thin student grade paper, not much for ghosting, so it's doing very well. I don't think these few spots stop most people from using the back of this page. Now we have no feathering, but we do have some spread on the stub, not on the extra fine or the medium. We have no halo, no sheen, no shade. The extra fine is a little lighter than the medium or the stub. The extra fine took 2 seconds to dry while the medium took 4. Scrubby for both give no color variation and we're not getting it. And the smear test you could not recover if you smeared while you were writing. Instead of finding inks that look like Platinum Black, I'd prefer to find an ink that complements its color on the page. I decided to go with a pink ink by Robert Oster, Pinky, because it made me think of the Hitman, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. If you'd prefer a different complement color, then down in the description are links to those playlists. So what do I think of Platinum Black? This has become my go-to black ink for doing art. It handles being re-wet so well. It's very dark, showing through watercolor easily, and I do realize that some of the writing samples show this as not a perfect black ink for me as a writing ink, but for art, I'm all over it. So what nib and pen are going to give the best writing experience with this ink? It's not about the nib, it's about the flow of the pen. A wet or very wet pen is going to put down a super dark black that's really going to hold up once you give it some time. Back to that whole problem with the highlighter that was driving me nuts. But I haven't had a problem with watercolors. I hope you got something out of this video, and in the next video, we're going to take a look at Ackerman's number 24.